DC party people, it's time for us to pause the music and give the spotlight to the two men who knows what's up with Events DC and across the district better than anyone else in this city. Without further ado, let me introduce Max Brown, Chairman of the Events DC Board of Directors, and Greg Odell, President and CEO.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. My name is Max Brown. I'm chair of the board of Events DC.
Hey, can we have everybody's attention, please?
We're gonna have. I think they already cut my mic off, which is not surprising. How's this? Any better?
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Hey, everybody, if we could get your attention one moment. Get everybody's attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Sure.
So, again, my name is Max Brown, chair of the board of Events DC. With me is my co-partner in crime, Greg Odell, who's the CEO. Let's give Greg a big hand.
2 times.
Greg does a tremendous job for the city. We joke around internally. It's like Brodell, Brown and Odell. So this is not Meet the Press.
Even though we're sitting like this.
Even though we're sitting like this, although we can talk about politics if you want. But we're here tonight to talk about the great work that Events DC does every day. A lot of things I think people aren't familiar with what we're doing, what we've done the last year, what we've got cooking for the next 2-3 years. So we're really excited to be here, Events DC Live, our inaugural launch, which is redundant.
Yep.
And Greg's going to sort of get into some of the details here. So Greg, after you.
Sure. So thank you, Max. And I want to first welcome everybody again. As Max suggested, we're very excited just to have some dialogue and see our friends and frankly have an excuse for a good party. So we appreciate you coming out on a rainy night. I would be remiss if I didn't first thank Chinetti and Ashley and our great marketing comms team for putting this together. So please give them a round of applause. So if you're wondering why we're here specifically, it really is to start this digital conversation. So, we want to talk and share the great things and have a conversation with you both live and even online about what we're doing at Events DC and frankly across the city. So if you haven't followed us, please do at the Events DC Twitter handle, please. And we're happy to see everybody participating and enjoying the conversation. So they've given us all these cards. I guarantee you that Max and I will not go through these cards. That's not how we are. We're not the kind of script. So I
feel like David Letterman. Can I just throw him at the...
No question about it. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We want some dialogue with everybody, and certainly we'll get some live questions even online. But with that, we want to really start to share some of the things that are happening at Events DC. So I think you all know we are the Convention and Sports Authority, so we do lots of amazing events, and I thank the team we have every day. What you may not know are some of the exciting projects that we're also working on. We've had a great chair and a great board who really spearheads the vision for us. And so with Max, has gone at 100 miles an hour since he's been here, but really has helped push us to the next level as an organization and for the city. So with that, I want to first start, and I'll go a little off cuff again and ask Max, You've been here for almost 30 years now in this city.
Showing my age, yep.
We won't talk about your age, but
yep.
What have you seen differently, not only through your Events DC lens, but just through your personal experience as well?
Sure, no, I appreciate that. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge one of our amazing board members who's here with us, Mimsy Lindner. Mimsy,
absolutely,
thank you for all that you do. Mimsy's from New Orleans, which is my second favorite city, behind Washington, D.C. So I've been here for about 32 years. When I moved here, there were like 3 restaurants. Restaurant Nora, Zorba's Greek restaurant at DuPont, which is awesome, and Le Pavillon, right? There was really 3 restaurants. And the transformation of Washington, not only the food scene, which is unbelievable, and being here with Greg Casten and Ivy City Smokehouse is really a tribute and sort of representation of that. But the city writ large, right? The creative economy, the technology community, and people moving here from the rest of the country. We didn't really have that 30 years ago. It was a government town. And it's no longer a government town. It's not your grandfather's Chevy. It's a much different place while retaining the essential character of Washington, which is what I love, the diversity of Washington. We've really sort of taken the next step through the leadership of Mayor Bowser, the council, and all the sort of decision makers,
Yep. No, fantastic. So we've also embarked on a couple major projects. Many of you know that we have a lot of great, amazing assets in our portfolio that we take seriously in terms of managing on behalf of the city. The convention center being really the economic engine and jewel for us, but also lots of great sporting facilities as well. One of the initiatives that the board charged us with and that we're focused on now is building an amazing entertainment and sports arena in Ward 8. I mention this for a couple of reasons because one, it's going to be a great venue for us. We're going to have Monumental Sports as our partner, but to Max's point, for us, it's also about embarking into a new community in a place that frankly has been underserved for so long. And so we're excited that we're going to bring all the great programming, concerts, you name it, basketball events, boxing, and having the home of the Mystics and the training facilities for Wizards in Ward 8. So I know it's something that's near and dear to your heart, Max. If you want to talk a little bit about what it means to go into that community, that'd be great.
It's great. The community's been underserved for a long time. The city, we're putting in, among all the partners, about $65 million, which is a tremendous investment in an important community of Washington. So creating jobs, retail amenities, place for the community to use to play basketball and other activities in the arena. So it's important to us. It's creating 300 construction, 600 permanent jobs. It's amazing. I'm really excited about it.
Cool. And on that front, we also are embarking on probably one of the biggest opportunities, at least personally, for me to work on, and Max, and that is, we are going to reimagine the vision for RFK Campus. Arguably, it was the first original sports and entertainment district for Washington, D.C. So for what this will mean, not only for that immediate community, but at large across the city and what it can be as a destination internationally, we're excited about. So Max, I know, again, this has been something that you're very excited about. You want to talk a little bit about the project, both short and long term?
Well, the site's 190 acres, which people don't realize. It's massive. It's a massive parcel in the world capital that's sort of undeveloped. And with the RFK Stadium sort of being, 30, 40 years old and DC United moving out, what can we do with that site? And so we've been talking to the community over the last 6 months to a year, come up with lots of different options, and we're going to be rolling those out January 5th to the community. And you can imagine all the sports, recreation, and entertainment that you would want to have in Washington. Think about that. It's going to be at that site. It's going to be fantastic. And we're going to need some restaurants there, Greg. So,
yep, good stuff.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about some of our projects. The first thing I will tell you, and I should say it and repeat it, is that certainly at Event CC we don't do it alone. We work with great partners, and I see some of us among the crowd tonight. We're going to get to one of our key partners in a second, but I also want to acknowledge a great partner in Diana Mayhew with Cherry Blossom Festival. Please give her a round of applause who's here tonight.
I have a question, though. Can we get Tiffany on our float again? She was awesome. She did. I think we're alone now.
Yes, she did. That was in the 80s and probably should stay in the 80s, but we'll just...
It was great. It was so much fun.
But, for those who put in perspective, we probably see 1 million people a year that come to the convention center for our events. And we have over 1.5 million, if not more, people who come in a 4-week time period to the Cherry Blossom Festival. So huge economic impact for what it does for a city. So thank you, Diana, for all that you do. So Max had referenced, great partners that we had in the amazing food seed that's happened here. We are so blessed to have amazing leadership at the Restaurant Association. She has really taken the organization to another level. We're excited to have her tonight to talk about the changes that's happened in the restaurant industry and also the great partnership. So without further ado, if Kathy Hollinger would come join us for some questions, we'd love to talk to her.
Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy. How are you? Great to see you.
We lost the Hobbit.
A hubbub, yes.
Yeah. So Kathy.
Elf.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. So Kathy, you heard us
no longer on the shelf.
Brag about the restaurants, but you know better than anybody. Since your short period of time, you've seen an amazing transformation. So tell us about, through your lens, what's happened in the restaurant scene here.
Yeah, Ivy City, where we are right now is a great example of what we're seeing, right? Neighborhoods that previously had really no entertainment, no restaurants, no food. We have seen, I would say, definitely about 1,000 restaurants open in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Last 10 years.
Jeez.
But just in the last 2 years, we've seen probably close to 500 just in Washington, D.C. It's amazing.
It is
I mean,
amazing.
it's great.
That's great.
It is great.
That's fantastic. And so obviously for us, you know that we've worked really hard to create these amazing experiences, but oftentimes, if not more the case, food is an integral part, if not the part of that experience that people focus on. So we've had a great partnership with the Restaurant Association over the years. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that we've done and some of the things we'll do in the future?
Sure. We've done everything from host our amazing Rammies event, which is literally the best event.
One of the best events in the city, really.
It's one of the best events in the city.
It's not long enough, though?
Yeah, it is. I think so.
I do too, since they're in the building until midnight. That's fine. We can get them out of there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, they're true.
Yeah, no, but I'm fine. Oh, it's the program.
The program's not long enough.
We are shaving 40 minutes off next year. You have my word on that. Well, actually, no. Don't take that very lightly.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's good.
But it's a great event. So it's really where we acknowledge the best of the best. We call it the Oscars of the food scene here in the region. So it's an amazing event. It's always in the summertime. We have about 2,300 people that gather in your beautiful venue.
Awesome,
And we're really grateful to have partners like you. And we do all kinds of programming throughout the year, whether it's chef table dinners or hopefully with things to come, we have some exciting things that we may roll out. And overall activation. When you guys have big shows coming in, we activate our members and we try to make sure that they're letting your folks know that there's something great happening in your building.
I was just going to say, not to get serious for a second as I was joking, but one of the reasons we're able to, as a city, do universal paid leave, much to, I think, the challenge of businesses, is precisely because people go out, eat in restaurants, come here and stay in hotels, which generates tax revenue. This is a really, really, really important segment of our economy. And Kathy deserves a lot of credit for making it happen. Kathy, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
One final question, and we'll bring our host up. But to Max's point, Kathy, obviously the hospitality industry at large and the restaurant industry combined, we are the second largest industry behind the government here. And so we employ, over 70-some thousand jobs. Can you talk about what that means to your members and in terms of families that are supported and what that happens in D.C.?
No, I mean, that's a great question. I think that people often forget what it takes to run a restaurant and the fact that it is an industry of opportunity. You have people that come in. I would bet that half of you have had a job in a restaurant at some point in your life. Is that true?
Very true. Very true.
I mean, my first job, I was a hostess, then I was a server, then I stopped there and I went out. Wash dishes. But the opportunity that it lends itself to 60,000 people in the district are working for food service.
Sure.
That's an amazing number. And it takes a very special person to run a restaurant like Greg Casten and others that we represent. Well,
that's a great segue. We should all bow down to one that's not only been an icon in our industry, in the restaurant industry, but also been a gracious host tonight for having us here. So Greg Casten, you probably know by ProFish, Tony and Joe's, but this is obviously the latest venture. I've gotten to know Greg and thanked him for not only the friendship, but the guidance that he's given me in this industry since I was not born in this industry, but it's been amazing for the city. He also served on the board of Destination DC, was an integral part of helping move that organization. So please give him his due. Another round of applause for Greg Casten. Thank you for being here, Greg.
And he's wearing a suit for everyone tonight.
And he's wearing a suit, which does not happen. Yeah, looking sharp. Look at that. The jacket will come off right after this program, I assure you.
Greg from the Fish Warehouse. Greg.
No doubt. So Greg, why don't you tell us a little bit about first this experience here and what was the mastermind behind this and what you were thinking?
To your point, first of all, Max, I think I started at the third famous restaurant 30 years ago, the Dancing Crab, which has now seen its better day.
Good stuff.
God, that was 1984. I've been in this restaurant scene for a long time. And in '88, we opened ProFish in Ivy City, which is a very, really a forgotten neighborhood in Washington, D.C. And about 4 years ago, I saw this building and wanted to do something. First of all, ProFish is growing and I needed the space. But being a natural restaurant business is in your blood, unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it. And I saw this space upstairs and it just cried out to be the neighborhood place that the Dancing Crab was up in Tenleytown. And so we just wanted to revitalize, or not really revitalize, but just bring to Ivy City a neighborhood most people never even heard of in Washington, D.C., but actually has been here, I think, 1873. It was its own little township when the district line ended at Florida Avenue, back when Boss Shepherd, which is a whole nother story, was the governor of the District of Columbia, or the territory of Columbia at the time. But Ivy City was just a little place without a lot of recognition and without a lot of restaurants, to your point, and without a lot of reach out. And I thought it would be good to get a restaurant started in here, and something where the neighbors could come in and the people who live here could begin to feel all of these wonderful changes and restaurants that were out. And that was really the genesis for what happened with it.
No, that's fantastic. And I think, you and I have had conversations before, a little bit similar to the question I asked Kathy, but I think it'd be worth people hearing your perspective. Talk about what has happened in the city from your perspective, not only from your individual ventures, but even your role with Destination DC and what you've seen grow, and what do you think potentially we need to improve or work on?
So that's an interesting question. What I've seen in 35, almost 40 years in the restaurant business in Washington is the business really has grown up. It's grown up outside of Washington, and the Food Channel and the Food Network has made everybody more aware of food and the representation of the culture it is. But at the end of every day, when you go to a restaurant, it's really the cutting edge. Max, you mentioned earlier how the new laws are out there and affecting healthcare and whatnot. The restaurant business is the cutting edge. And as people, they like to be where the action is. And as people are becoming invigorated, and Washington is becoming, let's face it, a little bit younger city than it was, more and more young people are getting out here, and they're looking for more and more restaurants, and they've learned to expect more and more from them, which has brought a level of professionalism here that DC had in a very small way, but has now expanded into a very large way. And to your point about, like I'm on the Educated Eats board at the Restaurant Association of Metropolitan Washington, and I'm actually on the American Experience Foundation. Both of those charities focus on trying to develop people in the hospitality industry, because it is a real career path that lets the diversity and the economic diversity step through that diversity into a platform that can be worldwide. And just being a part of that is a really exciting and fun thing.
No, that's fantastic, Greg. Well said. And I think we're excited. I know that the natives are getting restless. We're almost wrapping up here. We wanted to give some love to those that are on live, so we got some live questions. So before we wrap up, we're going to go to a couple of questions, and then we'll let everybody get to the party.
So we've got two questions from the same person. Should we say the name of the person? Rochelle Nigro, former current ANC commissioner. Question 1. Greg, what is your ideal date?
Did it say?
No, kidding. It doesn't say that. What is the most exciting first-time event coming to DC in 2017?
So without question, I think those who've been in DC long enough know every 4 years we have a special occasion. So this particular January, we're going to be hosting the inauguration. So what that means in the convention center specifically is we're going to be hosting the majority of the inaugural balls. So we're very excited, just to be clear, about hosting for the new president-elect. I think lots of discussion always happens about politics, but this is what we do and what we do best. And so we're happy to showcase the city, so we're looking forward to doing that. It may be cold, but it's going to be a big party, and we're happy to be the host of it.
And the second question is, update on Apple. So I like a Honeycrisp. I can go Fuji. Stay tuned on the update on Apple. I'll leave it at that.
Very good. So with that, we're going to wrap up. Yep. I want to thank our amazing chair, our amazing partners, Kathy Hollinger and Greg Casten, for having us here. Please give them a round of applause.
Hey.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Please enjoy the night, and we'll do it again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.